Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Up today, we've got a 2-site package affiliate business for sale in the information advertising niche. Created in March 2017, this business makes an average of $3,795 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this business is 52186. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the asset they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. So thanks for coming on, Joshua.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me, Sarah.
Yeah, great to have you here. So before we get started, though, I'm just going to go over a quick summary of the business. So this business was built in March 2017. This business has average monthly revenue of $3,802 and is producing an average net profit of $3,795, and that's based on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of the business are 3 domains and all site content and files, and social media account of just Twitter. All right, Joshua, let's kick this thing off. So start me off. Tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses.
Sure. This is one of my first attempts 4 years ago now. I wasn't really happy with my job, looking for new opportunities, and thought maybe building sites might be a good outlet or a good opportunity. So I started building my first site, the Australian site, and then followed that up, and that went reasonably well with a UK site in a similar niche. Otherwise, my background's a software developer, so I thought that setting up and maintaining a site would be interesting and related to what I did normally in my day job, although I just don't have the time to really dedicate to the sites as much time as I'd like to, so looking to sell them.
Okay. And very cool that you're able to build off your background. So that's awesome. I'm wondering, so this is a question we normally ask our sellers. It might sound a little bit obvious, but it's worth going through. I wanted to talk about how the business primarily makes money. And why I wanted to ask you this is because you've got 2 sites here in this package. So can you just walk me through how those businesses make money? Is one business, say, bigger than the other, et cetera? Just any points that come to mind?
Sure. So the sites make money from affiliate commissions, and the affiliates survey-based. So the companies an affiliate with offer various surveys or aggregators for different survey companies, and getting people to sign up and do online surveys is how the sites earn their money from the commissions that come through from that. So both sites are related. They differ in the survey and the affiliates that they link to. Otherwise, they're both pretty similar in business. In terms of size, probably the Australian site earns more money at the moment than the UK site, so that has varied over time.
Excellent. Thank you for that picture. I was wondering, you said this a little bit earlier, but want to make sure that I'm opening the floor if you have anything else to say. Why would you say sell this business instead of keeping it and growing it?
The primary reason is the lack of time to dedicate to, even though the sites take really small amounts of time. To grow the site, I probably would look at investing a little bit more time. So I think on average I spend about an hour or so a month, but even expanding that to say 2 or 3 hours has proved a bit of a struggle. So I figured that it would probably be best to, sell the site and give it to someone that can dedicate the time properly to help it grow. And it's more advantageous at the moment with my job and my current earnings to sell the site from a tax perspective, because the earnings are getting taxed quite heavily.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. That makes a lot of sense. Cool. So it's great that you've gotten the business in a good place. And I think all it takes is the next buyer who's got a bit more time to take it on and take it to the next phase. I guess in that same vein, let's talk about the things that you learned with this business, that you just seem to really work. So what did you find along the way that, would be important lessons that you'd say apply to future businesses that might benefit the buyer to know about?
I think the biggest skill that's really helped me with these businesses is learning about SEO and applying some SEO approaches and tactics, developing the sites and helping drive traffic to the sites, either organically or through people looking stuff up on Google. I'd say that if I had one recommendation of a skill, it would be that one.
That makes total sense. Now, of course, on the flip side, was there anything that you learned along the way that, say, didn't work?
There's probably things that didn't work that I just haven't realised haven't worked because I haven't spent the time to analyse what's going on properly in terms of things like, how you present offers or links on the site, what sort of context you put around them, trying to figure out which ones earn more. That sort of optimization on the site is something that I haven't spent enough time on.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, it's a very common place that a lot of sellers find themselves in, and it does come down to time to be able to work on or know some of those points. So, yeah, that makes sense. Now, in terms of traffic, where does the majority of your traffic come from?
The vast majority of the traffic is through Google. So people searching for various keywords or key phrases that I targeted. And there's a little bit of traffic that comes through other sources, but it's almost predominantly Google.
Okay. And what about marketing? Is there anything that you're doing in terms of marketing right now?
No. And that's probably one of the other things that I would love to do if I could find the time to do it. So there's no real marketing inside at the moment at all.
Okay, so that definitely leads me to my next question then. If you were to keep the business, what are some of the ways that you would try to grow it?
I think advertising would be a big one. So trying to drive more traffic, because the one thing I have noticed when I've gone over the metrics is that there is a rough correlation between visitors and earning. Also finding more affiliates and adding more surveys to the site. The people tend to click around in general, so once they hit the site, they will try out a few different options. And giving them more options, I think, would probably lead to high commissions. Being on top of all the different surveys that come out. So even within one affiliate, surveys that they offer may hit a cap per commissions, per affiliate per month. So, I often get emails saying such a survey is, run out of budget for this month. They don't actually always update the links. So as a result, someone who clicks on the link might get directed to another survey that doesn't earn as much. Whereas if I was updating the site more regularly and taking those changing commissions into account, you have the potential to direct people to better paying surveys. There's other programs you could look at as well that I had brief look at in the past that haven't really done anything. Also, one of the affiliate programs that I was a member of, I left, and I'd probably go back if I had the time and effort to set it all up again. More links as well, so trying to get more links to the site to help drive more traffic through Google, and also just trying to look into why the site's traffic reaches the limits or the numbers it does. I sit down and try and see if I can improve the rankings or drive the traffic through optimizations to the site itself. One of the other things I've also considered is maybe expanding the niche, so go beyond surveys and look into more personal finance aspects, because there is a bit of an overlap in terms of surveys and personal finance. But again, that's something I've thought of but never really had the time to investigate or act on.
Yeah, those are actually really good growth opportunities and definitely great things for a buyer to consider, things that they can build off of. Now, of course, we always have to talk about both sides, and that means risks included. So can you walk me through what you think the biggest risks are with the business that a buyer should be aware of? Competition,
I think. There's a lot of different sites that talk about surveys, and it's increased slightly over the time, or probably increased dramatically over the time that I've started. I'm not sure because I haven't done enough opposition research to know. But, trying to make sure that the site stays ahead of the competition with regards to Google rankings and the risks that other people will target this niche. Okay, great. Switching gears a little bit, can you tell me about the amount and type of work you're doing on this business for maintenance? Sure. When I added it up, not that much. So every month I might spend, say, an hour doing some work, swapping around different affiliates or different surveys on each site. Occasionally, every 3 months, maybe every 6 months, I'll add a new review of a survey site or some form of new content. And then once a year, I probably go around and update the content on the site in general. So just look into making sure all the affiliates still current, the pages are still accurate, and just updating the content in general to make sure it's still timely and relevant. So that I'd probably take about 10 hours a year per site. Well, that's great. You've been able to get the site where it is and have it run so passively, so that's awesome. What skills or requirements do you think there might be for someone not familiar with this niche or business model? Being able to use tools to analyze what's going on. So if you're not familiar with Google Analytics or Google Search Console, they're useful skills to have to be able to try and diagnose where your traffic is coming from or where it's going. In general, otherwise, it's just being able to know which surveys or which offers are the best to prioritise, and being able to negotiate or discuss commissions with the different affiliates, because sometimes they'll offer more. If you prioritise or promote a particular offer of theirs, it's something that I haven't really done much of, want of time and effort. But if you're confident enough, then there's potential to increase commissions as well, just by being able to negotiate a bit better.
Okay, great answer. So these are just a couple wrap-ups here. I was wondering how much support you're offering buyers.
I'm open to requests, but I think with the default suggestion of, email support for 30 days and I think 1 or 2 Skype calls. But if someone's interested in more than that, then, they're free to request a time of negotiation or purchase. Otherwise, happy to help them move the sites to their own hosting or get a handle on the server that's hosting the sites at the moment. So I guess it's up to the potential buyer, whatever they think they need, more than willing to consider it.
Okay, sure, sounds good. Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes.
Great. Are you open to something like an earn-out?
No, I probably wouldn't.
Okay. Everybody comes in with different goals, and plenty of sellers kind of come through with the same answer. So this is my final question here. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying? I
think that it's good earning history, coupled with the low maintenance, if you want to put in the absolute minimum, as I have, makes it a business worth buying if you're looking for that passive income that can generate a reasonably decent amount of return for minimal effort over the course of time.
It's a great point, and definitely we have a lot of buyers who come through wanting something passive, like you said, and they're looking for a great business to either, run entirely on their own or add to their portfolio. So I think your business makes a great option, and I'm looking forward to seeing how things play out for you in the deal process.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, for everyone listening out there, thanks so much for tuning in. To check out more details on this business or to unlock the listing, visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 52186. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the link in the description or go straight to the listing. By unlocking the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business and can start your due diligence. Until next time.